This video I have almost done so many times, but I never knew what week in my life to do, and now it's finally here. Hi, my name is Sarah Freshly and welcome to Freshly Read Books. So I'm always fascinated watching other people's, like how much I actually read in a week videos, but I feel like a lot of them are either by already full-time booktubers or people that are still in school and doing schoolwork, which I think is probably pretty comparable to what it's like having a full-time job and also trying to read and do booktube. And so this week I'm gonna be doing it as a woman in STEM, how much I read in a week. Now this week is a little bit special in that I am going on a work trip to Indianapolis, where I actually lived when I started working for my current company as just an intern, but you can still see me doing a little bit of work from home and then also going to Indianapolis for that trip. Now I haven't really ever talked about what I do for work on my channel, so I thought that it could be fun to share that before we get into it. Not that it really makes any difference. I don't think there's any clips that are specific to that in this, but I work for a software company, for a pretty large software company. My specific role is most often referred to as an instructional designer, which did not exist basically as a career path when I was in college. It was not like a degree. Now it's a degree you can get, but essentially it is a career where you create either courses, maybe live courses, or like job aids, performance support material, or self-paced courses that are entirely online for other people to take, and if it's a live course, for other people to teach. But anyways, that's it. So enjoy this week in my life and how much reading I'm able to get done each day. Good morning. It's Monday, October 20th, and we are starting off the day the way I always do, with some reading. Typically I go outside for this. It does look very windy outside today and a little chilly, so definitely bringing this with me, and actually maybe also this.
Okay, so my first book of this week was Catabasis, or Catabasis, however you want to pronounce it, which follows Alice, who has spent her entire life trying to become a leading mind in magic, which is basically like an area of study like physics or biology. The book starts with her advisor dying in a magical accident that might be Alice's fault, and so she follows him to hell along with her school rival Peter, and then the book is basically them trying to find him in hell.
Okay, I'm looking a little bit rough because Curtis and I just went for a little afternoon walk to the post office because I got a package that did not fit in my P.O. box. I mean, technically, I think it could have fit just because like the drawer doesn't pull out far enough for me to have actually gotten this box out. They couldn't put it in there. But it is from Penguin. So I'm guessing it's just 2 books in one box. Oh no, it's just one book. It's just huge because it is Mark C. Danielewski's new book, Tom's Crossing. This author, if you don't know, wrote House of Leaves, which is huge. I mean, in more ways than one. Very well known for being a kind of an insane book, and I loved it. Now we have Tom's Crossing, which, okay, is just a normal book. Nothing too weird about it. But yeah, very excited to read this one, but it is huge. I see why they put it in a box this time and not one of those like thin mailers. wall. This is my view. Oh, found the trees. The sad thing is I've stayed in this hotel before and had lovely rooms, and I was really looking forward to looking over the park or the museum, but alas, wall. In all seriousness though, this is a really great couch for reading. So the hotel does have that. I finished Catabasis on the plane and it was really good. I went through a whole mix of emotions while finishing that book because somewhere in the middle I got like really invested into it, and then I did take a break from reading it. But when I came back to it, I was still like at that same level of investment. I just needed a break, which I don't think had anything to do with the book. I think I just needed something like really quick and light. And so that's what I did. And then I went back to it and I was still very invested. I was loving learning more about Alice and Peter and their separate lives and like how they ended up at Oxbridge and all of that. That was just a really great part of the book for me, and it made their conversations now in the current time so much more impactful once you knew those things. And then the book continues on, and then I kind of fell off again at a certain point, and I was almost in denial at where the book was going. I didn't want to be going there, but I did start to buy in, and then I was all in, and then it ended even better than I thought. So it actually was really good. That being said, I don't think that I can rate it anything higher than a 4-star just because there were so many bits of it that I did really struggle with. I kind of felt like once we knew one fallacy that it would bring up, we kind of knew them all. They weren't that different from each other, and we got a lot of logical fallacies. And we got a lot of contradictions, and it was maybe a little bit too much after a while. So whereas in the beginning I really appreciated those things, by the end of it I was pretty over it. But I still think overall it was a good book. I want to read Babel so bad now. Also, I am talking into my phone. This is my phone, not a wallet. I should have said that earlier because I don't know how the audio is going to be on my GoPro, which is the only camera I brought. So I'm hoping that one of these is going to sound good. And I'll just pick whichever one does sound good. Anyways, I tried to get back into Sea Scraper, couldn't do it. So now I'm reading Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and I'm gonna be okay with that. Anyways, I'm gonna lie in bed and rot for a bit because I'm tired. And then I'm gonna go get dinner later with my coworker.
Well, while I'm rotting away, let me tell you about Vicious. So Vicious follows 2 college roommates, Vic and Eli, who are kind of friends and kind of rivals, and they discover that near-death experiences can create people with essentially like superpowers. They end up experimenting with this, which destroys their relationship and changes their lives. And then we have the present timeline in the book, which is actually 10 years after this, and Vic has just broken out of prison with one mission: to stop Eli, who's decided that he needs to go after all the people with powers, seeing them as unnatural.
So I've been editing for 2.5 hours, finishing my video. Said I can go up tomorrow because I was like, if I don't finish this tonight, I don't think I'm gonna finish it tomorrow night because I have a flight really early in the morning and I know I'm gonna go get dinner with friends. So anyways, I had to finish it tonight, and I would like it to go out tomorrow instead of on Saturday. But I forgot that I would be on hotel internet. And it's only 2% done uploading, and it's been uploading for like, I don't know, at least 20 minutes now. So hopefully it'll finish uploading by the morning or sometime tomorrow. Oh, that was so much work I just did for possibly nothing. Anyways, I am so tired. I did not plan on staying up this late. I wanted to go to bed early to get a nice fresh start on the day tomorrow. But I also really wanted to get this video out because I'm excited about it. I like getting out my Hercat videos. I know you all are excited about them. I know that they're by far like the favorite on my channel, at least right now. And so yeah, I wanted to get out episode 6 finally. And it is by far the longest episode, which kind of stinks because it's the one that I'm trying to upload on hotel internet. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm not reading tonight. You can't make me. Can I just say, it was so nice going into an office and actually like getting ready in the morning. I know if I was doing it full time again, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as I did for this week, but it was really fun for this week. And what makes it even more fun is the jewelry that I was wearing with it. Because once again, this video is sponsored by Ana Luisa, but I actually did not know that it was going to be until after I had filmed those clips in Indianapolis. They reached out to me after that and I was like, well, this is perfect because I was already doing like a little shots of my outfit and I was wearing their jewelry. So it really works out well. But I wanted to share with you some of the pieces that I've been absolutely loving. This isn't on their site anymore, but I just wanted to share it because I've had it for so long and it's like held up so nicely. So it looks black right now, but it is actually a mood ring type thing. The color will change. So typically it actually looks like a dark blue, but this was my favorite Ana Luisa necklace that I had for quite some time. And I actually went back to try to find a comment that I had left on the channel Drinking by My Shelf saying that like all my jewelry is just Ana Luisa jewelry, which remains to be the case 3 years later. Okay, I got it to change. I think that that's just the coolest thing. And they do still have like a mood ring, like an actual ring, but this necklace is not technically for sale anymore. I just wanted to show like how well it's held up. It still looks just like it did when I got it, but it has been replaced as my favorite necklace by the one that I am wearing right now, which is the one that I had shared in the last video. And I talked about in that video, and I do still do this all the time, but stacking it with this necklace here, especially when I'm wearing like a t-shirt or something that's like more casual, it's like just a way to make my outfit look more put together. And this one's just kind of like 2 chains linked together. And then when I really want to dress up an outfit, I usually go with these crawlers. You just need the one piercing, but it like goes all the way up the side of your ear. Also, if you're still worried, Ana Luisa does have a 2-year warranty for all of their stuff, so you can at least feel confident in those 2 years. But like I said, the oldest piece of jewelry I have from them has lasted over 3 years. So if you are interested, then please do use the link in my description. Also, Black Friday, there is a 35% off sale going on. And then I think if you spend a certain amount, you also get a free gift, which is really awesome. Definitely check it out. Now's the time to do it. Please use my link. That really helps me out. That helps them want to continue working with me, and it just helps my channel in general. Thank you so much for listening to me. Now back to the week in my life. After a whole night of uploading, my video made it to 46%. And then I got ready for work. I got ready to go into the office and I come back and it's still at 46%. So I've officially paid for the faster internet for today. And I am just crossing my fingers that it can actually upload during the day today. So I'll be keeping an eye on it at work, but my laptop's just gonna stay here. I'm gonna have to put the do not disturb on the door. And I also I only brought one charger for both my personal laptop and my work laptop because they use the same thing. So there was no reason for me to bring 2. But apparently there was, because now my laptop needs to sit here all day uploading. And I do have like a little phone charger guy, and I'm a little bit, I don't know how good that is for your laptop or how much it's actually gonna like keep it alive. But I guess that's what I'm trying. But yeah, now it's at 47% now. So it's moving again, which is good. Hopefully it moves a little bit faster with the enhanced internet. I didn't think about this part. I didn't think about the internet that I would not have. I need to get going because I do want to get coffee from a different coffee place this morning. Yeah. Sabes que debería estar contigo. Sabes que no creo que te haya gustado. No me importa si lo haces o no. Sabes que you just forgot it all. Sabes que yo haciéndome a preguntar mis pensamientos. Sabes que yo pienso mucho y no quiero. Sabes que I don't know you know. So I'm back in my hotel room. We just finished our last day and I'm feeling pretty melancholy. I think there's something about being back in a place that was so formative in my life is a little hard and a little sad. And really, I just lived here for 2 years. I didn't live here for that long. But those 2 years were such a big impact in my life, in who I am as a person, in who I am independently. It was the first place I ever lived alone. And it was just me and Scout living in my apartment on Mass Ave, and I loved it. And I think what I ended up getting here was a really great life for the time that I was here. And I don't think it's like a place that I want to come back to. Like, I don't want to move back downtown Indy. The reason why I feel this way is because I was so happy here. And I think that that's something to remember fondly rather than to remember sadly. I think I'll pack up, said I'm all ready, and then I'm gonna go walk around and just kind of remember all the little places I used to go. And then I'm gonna have a great night with some old friends. I just kind of want to be in it, be in the moment here, really enjoy it, so that when I go home tomorrow, I enjoy that even more. And I'm not disappointed that I wasted this trip. 6:30 in the morning, and it is time to head home.
Hey, feels like I'm insane. I'm afraid of change. The pictures that I framed remind me of when the skies were blue. Chapter 32 is all just me and you, but the ceiling's falling through and all the screws are coming loose. Don't know what to do, don't know what to do. I got everything to lose. Don't know what to do, don't know what to do. 'Cause I've been chasing feelings, but I'm running from them too. I feel like crying, I feel like screaming, I feel like throwing up for no reason. I think I'm growing, I think I'm sinking. I take a hit when I'm going, now swinging. It's not just inevitable. Wake up and I'm already old. I'm doing my best, but where I'm going next is anybody's guess.
So I finished Vicious yesterday. I meant to share with you what I thought about it, but I have 31 seconds until I'm supposed to go live for TBR Sprints for this month. So I'm gonna do that, and I guess update you afterwards, but I'm gonna be starting another book. And technically I did already start one new book, this guy, but I didn't get very far, so I don't know if that even counts. So here we go. It's been time. Everybody cross your fingers for a swap. If we don't get one swap this year, I'm gonna be so upset. We did it. We did it.
So for TBR Spin, after a swap and then another spin, I ended up with the color purple, which follows Celie, a young black woman in the early 1900s American South, as she writes letters to God and later to her sister, trying to kind of make sense of her life. With the help of the women around her, Celie slowly finds her own strength. And this is really a story about resilience, sisterhood, and learning to see your own worth in a world that tells you you're worthless.
So it's actually been a minute since that week of reading. I kind of, after that live stream, I just like fully crashed. And I have been basically just like a shell of a person for the past week. I did go out was that last night? 2 nights ago. And I'm very proud of that. I went out and I socialized, and it was a lot of fun. But I've mostly just been like staying in, playing Minecraft with friends, and but all virtually. So that I was just like, you know, I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything because I'd just been around people a lot, and I knew that I was going to be around people a lot again the following week, which is now tomorrow. I'm heading out for another work trip to Vegas for a conference. So I knew I was going to be surrounded by people again, and way more, to like a much larger extent than I was before. So I think I just like needed the week in between to just be like nothing. But that meant that I never updated you for the end of that video. But obviously I finished Vicious while I was on my way home by V.E. Schwab, and I really enjoyed it. I'm happy that I've finally read this one. I've had it on my bookshelf for so long, and it was a great time of year to read it. I was just feeling it, and so I just picked it up. Also, it was on my 25 books to read in 2025 list, so like that didn't hurt, but I'm glad to have finally read it. I am looking forward to reading the sequel. I think the characters themselves, they were a lot different than I expected. Like, I don't know what I expected going into this book, but I think I thought that the two guys were going to be together for more of the story. And I also didn't expect to have a strong favorite out of the two of them, but I do, as I'm sure like anybody reading the story would. So I'm curious to see if it almost seemed like the next book was going to have more about the other of the two, or at least just more of him in general, maybe not more than Vic. So yeah, I'm curious about that. And then the other characters like Sydney and Serena, Mitch, there was, oh, and the way that like we got so much Vic at the beginning, and as it goes on, you start to get like these perspectives from the other characters in the book, and it starts to like blended in together. And so you're kind of slowly building this like family of characters, and I really liked the way that that was done. And the ending was intense and great and just perfect for reading while I was headed home. Overall, I ended up giving it 4 stars. I didn't like it quite as much as the trilogy, the other trilogy I've read by V.E. Schwab, which is the Darker Shades trilogy, but I still liked it a lot. I'm looking forward to getting Vengeful and to reading more from V.E. Schwab in general. And then you may have also seen me beginning to read The Color Purple by Alice Walker during that live show. I ended up getting like halfway through this book, I think during the live show, and then I read some more afterwards. And then the following day, I just finished it. So even though I didn't finish this in the 1 week period that this video was for, I thought that I could still talk about it since I did finish it like immediately afterwards, and I read a lot of it like during that last day. So this is another one that has been on my bookshelf for quite some time. Another one that was on my 25 books to read in 2025 list. So that worked out really well. And I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I basically just knew the time period, and that was it. And like who our main characters were, that it was following like Black Americans. But I didn't quite realize, which I don't know why, because like literally it's on the cover. I didn't really realize that it was about like sisters and that bond. We have Celie, who is writing these letters to God, and then at a certain point shifts to writing letters to her sister Nettie. And then we also get to learn more about Nettie and what she's doing, them and their own lives. It's just such a great way to tell this story. I don't want to say too much because a lot of the really strong feelings comes from, I would say, like the last quarter of the book. Actually, that's not even true. There is a lot of strong feelings towards the beginning of the book, but the sisterly feelings like really kick in at the end. But seeing Celie go through what she goes through immediately in the book was really tough to read, but it is told in such a great way, and it is quick. This book moves through Celie's life really quickly. I thought we were going to slow down at specific points, and we did a little bit, but it did always feel like we were kind of flying through these lives, which it almost felt like how reading a multi-generational book goes. I mean, usually they're much longer and they cover several people's lives within the family, but there is like a bit of speed that goes along with that, even though you're like with these people for a long time. And that's what this felt like, but also it felt like I really got to know the characters in the same way that you get to know the characters for a multi-generational book. And seeing these characters and where they start out with knowing each other and how their bonds grow and change over time, it was really good. It was really fantastic. I totally understand why this book is a classic. Overall, I give this book 4.5 stars, and it was really great. I'm so glad that I finally read it. So that's it. That's my update for the end of this video, and thus the end of this video. I had to wrap up 2 different videos today, so it feels a little weird doing them back to back and saying this again, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy every video that I do, honestly. That would be ideal. Consider subscribing. If you want to follow me in more places, I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, and Storygraph, all under the name Freshly Read Books, all with links in the description. But this is really my main platform, so really it would just mean the most if you followed me here so that I can see you back for the next video. Bye!